Summer routines live or die by how easy they are, and honestly, if something takes too much effort, I'm out. That's why Groones is my go-to. It's my one daily pack of gummies covering my greens, vitamins, and minerals. Plus, it has 6 grams of prebiotic fiber, which is more than 2 cups of broccoli. No mixing powders, no giant pills, no hassle. I just rip open the pack and I'm done. They taste good and they make it easy to stay on top of my health, even when life gets busy. Save up to 52% with the code PODCAST at Groones.co. That's code PODCAST at GRUNS.co.
It's the Go Gopher Podcast with Mike Grimm, episode number 100. We've hit the century mark. I am Mike Grimm, voice of the Golden Gophers, and welcome back to the podcast. This week on the Go Gopher Podcast, we're previewing the Quick Lane Bowl, which takes place on Tuesday, December 26th in Detroit's Ford Field at 1 o'clock. I'll be there for radio play-by-play. Our guest today will be Minnesota's starting quarterback for that game, senior Cole Kramer. I'm so excited to have Cole on our podcast. You'll be interested in hearing how his starting role came about, what he's got planned after football, and what he says about the time he spent as a Golden Gopher quarterback. Cole Kramer is coming up. Our Go Gopher Podcast is presented by alumni-owned Sunbelt Business Advisors and True North Mergers and Acquisitions. If you're a business founder planning to exit your business, start by contacting Sunbelt Business Advisors and True North Mergers and Acquisitions. Sunbelt serves more businesses up to $5 million in revenue than anyone, and True North M&A serves companies with revenues up to $150 million. Get a confidential, no-cost, no obligation business valuation started today. Make the most of your life's work. Visit sunbeltminnesota.com or tnma.com today. Affinity Plus Federal Credit Union's also a big-time sponsor of our Go Gopher podcast. Life math is complicated, and Affinity Plus Federal Credit Union makes it easier with local financial experts available to help in person or virtually. Learn more at affinityplus.org/Go Gophers. They sponsor our player profile segment supporting Gopher student athletes, including our visit with Cole Kramer today. As the official grocer of the Golden Gophers, Cub is proud to be a sponsor of the Go Gopher podcast. In a hurry? Don't worry. Cub delivers. Get fresh meat, produce, and everyday essentials delivered to your door. Our podcast is also sponsored by State Farm agent Tony Hoagland at ChamplinInsurance.com. We're podcasting episode 100 from the Aquarius Home Services studio. We invite you to subscribe to the Go Gopher podcast. It's free to do so. You can also go back and listen to previous podcasts. Last week, for example, we had a great visit with the new television voice of the Minnesota Twins, Corey Provis, who moves over to that spot from radio. Corey also talks Gopher basketball and Big Ten athletics as part of his role with the Big Ten Network. Well worth the listen, so go back and have a listen. This episode, we're talking Golden Gopher football with senior quarterback Cole Kramer. We dive into episode 100 next.
I'm Clay Geary, walk-on turned scholarship wide receiver for Gopher football.
And I'm Ben Utek, U of M alumni, Super Bowl champion, and Tony Dungy Uncommon Award winner.
We understand championship culture, which is why we're part of the True North family of companies.
True North invests in only elite teams, like the champion team at Sunbelt Business Advisors, Minnesota's largest seller of companies. To learn more about True North and our diverse family of independently owned companies, visit TrueNorthEquityPartners.com.
When we say that Cub milk is the freshest in town, we mean it. Less than 48 hours from farm to store fresh. We guarantee 7 days or more of freshness. It all starts with local dairy farmers who take great care in making sure all the cows are happy and healthy. We support local farm families 365 days a year. And that makes our milk even more delicious. So you always get the freshest milk and the biggest smiles.
It's episode number 100. Yeah, the century mark for the Go Gopher podcast with Mike Grimm, and we have a special guest with us, Cole Kramer, Golden Gopher quarterback. Cole, good to see you.
Good to see you, too.
You're on 100. How about that? We made it to 100.
It's special.
It sure is. It sure is. Well, we appreciate all of the folks who have clicked on these over the years to help make them a success. Thanks to all of our sponsors. You just heard about all the sponsors prior to Cole coming in. So here we go. You are the Golden Gopher starting quarterback. How much fun? How much pressure? What are you feeling? What's your emotion now knowing you get your crack at it here? Really, maybe we'll talk more about it, maybe on your way out the door, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I'm honestly very blessed. Just this whole entire process, this journey, it's it's awesome because it's God's plan. And, I had a different plan. Obviously, everyone comes out of high school, like, I want to be the starter, I want to play. And, sometimes that just doesn't happen. And, I'm extremely grateful, blessed for what has happened, all the lessons I've learned throughout the way. But I'm extremely excited to play with these guys. This past month with bowl prep has been awesome. I've been really enjoying, leading the team and, watching film with some of the guys and just really just having fun with them.
What is the difference, if there is any, in preparing for a game where you'll play, and you've had chances in Wildcat in certain specific situations, but that you'll likely play if there's an injury, compared to now where, hey, here's the football, it's your team, it's your offense, go get them?
Yeah, honestly, there's no difference. A lot of people I hear, are saying like, oh, the backup quarterbacks, the best job you could have, and they don't see the amount of work that it's put in, and day in and day out, the hours of film being watched where, you don't even know if you're going to see the field or not. But that's, my mindset with, the past 5 years, and especially this past year was, you never know when your chance is going to come. And so you got to prepare like you're the starter from day one. And I feel like, that's what I've been doing. So I'm not going to change anything going into this game except, just the excitement that's going to be there. Again, like I said before, I'm just so grateful for this, and everything happens for a reason, and I just can't wait to play. And
you now, as the starter, there's certainly a difference in the sense that you're getting many more reps, I would assume, right? I know that PJ and the offensive coordinators over the years have given the number 2 guy. I mean, you rotate in, but it still is a little different, right? When you're now these practices as you get ready for the bowl game, if you're the number 1, you're getting reps with the ones, right? And so take me through how that process has been, where you're kind of taking over that leadership role.
Yeah, I mean, the leadership role is huge, especially when, you're practicing more, you're getting more reps. It's a little bit easier to, take command of everyone. But, just the reps that I've been given, even over the past years, you got to make every rep count. And, I kind of have that same mindset, even, if I'm getting more reps or not. But this bowl prep has been honestly super cool to watch Max get reps. And, he's been making huge strides. So I'm really proud of him too. But, being able to, practice with the ones and, kind of prepare just that way makes it awesome as well.
And I'm at practice a couple times a week, so I see how things unfold. And certainly there are leaders. I don't know how hard or easy it might be as the number 2 quarterback to take on a leadership role over the years, but I did get a sense that guys look to you. One, you've been around, you know what you're doing, you're experienced, you kind of have that aura about you that here's the way to go. So take me through as the number 2. You want to be a leader, but you also are not stepping on the number 1 guy, who's got to start that week. How does that? Is it a tap dance, or are you just comfortable or over the years with how you handled that?
Yeah, it is a little odd situation there, but when it comes down to it, you just have to be genuine and you have to be yourself. And what I've learned over the years is, leading by example is a huge thing, but also, just making sure, if I'm taking reps with certain guys, making sure that those guys, like I'm the leader of those guys, whenever I'm in, those are my guys, and, they have that standard to play with. So, you do have to be careful with stepping on toes and that sort of thing. But at the end of the day, we all work well together. We're all leading together. It's not like, I'm leading over, someone else, but like it's a collective effort. And that's what I honestly have really enjoyed with, Tanner and with Ethan, and just like how we lead all together. And it's, even with other positions, it's not just the quarterback, guys on the O-line, receivers, every position, has been really impactful in the leadership.
Yeah, and I've always admired the quarterback role. We know what a guy Tanner has been. Ethan has kind of over the years been kind of one of my favorite guys to just kind of watch as he develops, and it'll be fun to see where he ends up. Wish him the best, certainly. And then you're part of that group too, that quarterback room. Take me through the dynamic over the years with Tanner and Ethan, and other guys have been through there as well that are now maybe in other spots.
Yeah, I've been here for a good amount of quarterbacks, but. Yeah, I mean, all the guys I've worked with, like, it's never been, a competition. It's always been, we're competing with each other as opposed to against each other, and that's what I've truly enjoyed over the years. Guys like Tanner, Zach, they've been awesome role models. I'm still really close to both of those guys. And then, Jacob Clark,
yeah,
great guy, and then Ethan, and I'm probably missing a couple too, but. Yeah. It's been really cool working with them, even if it's just watching film and kind of dissecting each other. And, kind of picking each other's minds, seeing what they're thinking on this play. And so it's been really, really fun, a great time, and I've enjoyed it.
You mentioned Max Shikanjansky, who is from Stillwater, good basketball player too, right? I think I remember he scored, 40 or 50 or something in a game last year. What can you tell us about his game?
Man, he's an awesome kid. I've really enjoyed working with him this past year. He's truly developed a lot, even, in this past week or couple of weeks, like I said. But, he's a baller. He's got a good mentality when he comes into it, and, he understands that every rep counts. And so he's not taking reps off, even if it's a handoff, like he's doing everything he can to better himself and change his best each day. So it's been really cool to see his progression. When
I also watch practice, the oftentimes the number 2 or the number 3, or if the number 2 guys taking reps or what have you, the quarterbacks are behind the line of scrimmage, and they're standing in place, but they're kind of acting out whether it's the mesh point handoff, whatever you guys call it, or even almost to the point of where you're throwing. Talk about that visualization, and is that why that was important over the years to visual reps, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I've taken a lot away from that, in my position, because like you said before, I'm not getting every rep, or I wasn't getting every rep, and you can't have that be an excuse. You have to, whether it's working harder in the film room to act like you were in there. But, I like doing that, just be back there, just and, go through the progression, go through, the protection calls, everything like that, because, even though you're not in there, you got to act like you're in there, and so it's a good thing, and the coaches have been great with, making sure we hold the standard to as if we're playing in there. So, I've definitely thought that it's been great back there too. 'Cause like I said before, you're in the play when you're not, but so then when you do get your chance, you're able to, make the most of it.
Right. All right. So I want to get to the bottom of when you found out and what your plan was in terms of the starter. You walked on senior day, and I think the assumption was that your Golden Gopher career would be over, and then you decide kind of what you want to do, whether you go try another spot or get on with life. Is that right? And then take us through how this all unfolded. Yeah.
So, I'm getting married, and there's a lot of things going on, and, I love my time here. Just thought that there was going to be, a little chapter change or whatnot. But when it came down to it, I wanted to play another game, and especially with the opportunity that I've been given, and like I said earlier in this podcast, with trusting God, and I put all my trust in Him throughout this whole journey, and it's paying off. But I couldn't pass up an opportunity to start and to play, and I couldn't be more grateful for this. And I'm just super excited, super pumped up, and I'm just really excited for these guys have been super supportive all around me. The teammates have been great, and we've just been working great.
So it wasn't too much after the season. Ethan says he's entering the portal. Take me through the moment you found out. Did the coaches come up and say, "Hey, Ethan's leaving, and we want you to be the starter"? How did that work?
Yeah. So got some calls, and that was really it. Like I just. It took me by surprise a little bit.
Was your plan to be done and not play in the bowl game if Ethan had stayed, or were you sticking around for the bowl game either way, or do you know yet?
I honestly wasn't. I didn't have my mind made up too much. I was kind of going back and forth with everything, kind of.
Because you have big stuff coming up.
Yeah, no doubt. And but it worked out. It played itself out. And again, I'm just trusting with what's going on, and. Couldn't be happier.
Do you know yet now, once the bowl game is done, are you going to look for still football? What are your options there, I guess?
Yeah.
If I can ask. And if you don't know, you can say you don't know. If you don't want to tell, say, mind your own business.
No, yeah. So I'll be, I'm looking for jobs. Yeah. And so, me and my fiance, we're going to be moving out to Arizona and kind of starting our life there for a little bit. 'Cause, she came from, she went to GCU, Grand Canyon. So her friends are there. Her brother lives there. So we're like, might as well, if we're going to move away, might as well just do that now. And
stay away from the snow shovel.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, go out with a bang, and yeah.
Yeah, nice. Have you been to a basketball game there? Have you visited down there, Grand Canyon?
No, not yet.
Right? But I've heard it something amazing, I guess.
Oh yeah,
right?
I've heard a lot of great. Yeah, it's crazy.
We all got to get to a game there sometime for sure. To Grand Canyon. So now you've got almost like a curtain call situation, right? Then if that's the case, if you're moving on, you've got an opportunity. I know Tanner kind of got his curtain call last year in that bowl game when Nathan went down, and I'm sure he wasn't anticipating that. And then he gets kind of, ironically, curtain calls are kind of famous in baseball, and he's at a baseball stadium getting the curtain call, which was so cool because, he's one of our favorites, Tanner. And so you kind of get your own little chance here for that.
Yeah. I mean, like I said earlier, I just am taking every chance. I'm extremely grateful for, playing with these guys. But yeah, I mean, it's preparation time now, and we got another game.
Yeah. Is there what is your emotion? Are you I'm sure you're excited. Is there nervousness? Is there just total excitement, calm? What are all those things maybe?
Yeah, I'd say definitely excitement. There is calmness and peace towards it, but just being able to get this chance. And, this has been a goal of mine ever since I was, in 8th grade, to start here. And for that to, finally come true, it's a dream come true. So, just got to, obviously take one day at a time right now and prepare and get better each day. But, it's all excitement.
Your progression as a quarterback, you were in a pretty run-heavy situation in high school. You got here, I think the coaches liked you enough liked your skill set and you as a person, of course, that we got to get him involved somehow. So you kind of inherited that role that Seth Green had as the Wildcat, and you were effective there. I remember, I think it was a touchdown pass at Iowa, right, to Cole Keefe, and I think he had 2 touchdowns that year. Ran some 2-point conversions, different things, and then I thought when I saw you in spring ball this past spring that I'm like, man, I think he's making throws that maybe he didn't make as a freshman now. And then you had the great spring game. Take me through the progress and how you feel your skill set has evolved here.
Yeah, I think I've definitely gotten better over the years. I think it's been a combination of, knowing the playbook better and then all that unrequired work. But obviously the coaches have put me in a great predicament and great position throughout the years to get better and to grow, whether it's, in season, off season, whatever the deal is. But yeah, I came in, didn't throw too much in high school. And, in high school was a little bit different of a situation where, every, I would throw, however many times and, hopefully 100% or something like that, and went through a lot of camps, threw in front of the coaches and everything like that. And then, I started running. It was kind of funny because I didn't do much running in high school. So that was kind of a, whatever, like shock or whatnot. But, I loved getting that chance to play then too. And now, evolving as more of a quarterback style. I know I always had the quarterback, in me and whatnot, but I definitely have grown and just being, having that chemistry with the receivers, that's grown a lot too. But yeah, I mean, that spring game was great fun. But yeah.
It was fun to watch. And obviously just naturally from the time you're 18 to the time you're 22 or 23, are you 22?
22. Yep.
22, your strength-wise, you're going to get stronger. But but your arm's stronger now, right? You're making throws I watch in practice on the rope that probably when you were a freshman, it wasn't going to get there as quick as it is now, right?
Definitely. Yeah.
And what's that like? Just have, confidence in, all right, I'm going to zip the throw out there on the flat and it's going to get there. Yeah,
I think confidence is a huge part of that. Just knowing that you can make any throw, and you just got to put the receivers in the best positions possible. But, from when I began here as a freshman to now, definitely progressed, definitely gotten better, and, just got to do that each and every day.
This season, there was some choppiness, I guess, on the offense in terms of there were some games where you had big games as a team and then games where it was limited. How confident and comfortable do you feel like you're going to be able to get right in there and put some production against Bowling Green on that bowl game?
Yeah, I mean, I feel great. I think, Coach Harbaugh puts us in a great spot. Him and Coach Simon, all the other offensive staff puts us in a great spot with, the game plans and everything like that. And then it just kind of comes down to executing and, that comes down to each and every day in practice. So yeah, I'm extremely excited, like I said before.
Yeah.
But I'm confident. I'm Coach Harbaugh's done a great job this year. I've really enjoyed working with him, and he's been having great game plans.
Yeah, he's a former quarterback too, and I remember watching him when I watch practice. When you guys get into your individual groups, just kind of where we stand, the tight ends are over by the sideline. So I had watched him the past couple of years as a tight end coach, and I'm watching. I'm like, that guy. I don't know a lot about football, but that guy seems like he can coach. Like he's coaching these guys. So now he's the quarterback's coach and offensive coordinator. So what's he bring as a former quarterback to help you guys out?
Yeah, I think the whole mindset and what it takes to truly play quarterback, and the reads and the progressions and everything like that. He's got a great sense of that, and then just the energy and passion he brings. We always talk about if you're not getting coached, then the coach doesn't really care for you, and he coaches his butt off, and I couldn't respect him more. Super excited that he's been my coach this past year, and now for this game, and just keep it rolling.
So the last couple of weeks as we record, this is a Friday, so we're about 11 days away from the bowl game. So you've been practicing 2 or 3 times a week in the last couple, and then next week I suppose is game week, right? Is kind of the prep, because it's a Tuesday. The calendar is weird, but the coaches I always get a kick. We'll do the PJ Flex show, and let's say it's a Thursday game, and we'll do it on a Monday, and he's like, well, this is really Wednesday, or because they keep those days. So I don't know what next Monday is going to be. It's probably going to be the Wednesday or something, or maybe it'll be the week before. But anyway, how does that work then as the final week of preparation? Kind of take us through a typical week of preparation for a Gopher football team.
Yeah, so normally we have first, second down practice on Tuesdays, and Wednesday we have third down day, and then Thursday and Friday are just a little less of that. But you're preparing each and every day as it's the day before the game. You don't stop preparing until really game time. So I think it's just as it comes down, we've had some time to prepare, with bowl prep and everything, but just got to keep on refining everything.
Yeah. Stand by a second. I want to talk about one of our sponsors quick here for the Go Gopher podcast. Affinity Plus is your local credit union, proudly serving Minnesota since 1930. As a current Gopher student, or if you're a proud Gopher alum, you are eligible to join this financial that wants to build a meaningful banking relationship and put you first. You can meet with a local employee at any of their branches statewide, including one right here near campus on University in Minneapolis. To learn more and find other ways to connect, here's the webpage, affinityplus.org/Go Gophers. That's affinityplus.org/Go Gophers. Affinity Plus Federal Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA. And again, we thank them for their support of the Gophers in general, and certainly of the Go Gopher podcast. And as they do with our Go Gopher podcast, supporting Gopher student athletes, because Cole Kramer has been kind enough to join us, they provide a $100 gift card. So we thank Affinity, and Cole, enjoy that as well.
Yes, thank you very much.
Hi, Gopher fans. Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on lights, we switch TV channels, we switch on the TV. And with the new transfer portal, some college students even switch colleges, which can seem crazy to us diehard fans. But what's not crazy is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, my agency can switch you over so we can start saving today. My team is ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood and show you it is, in fact, easy to switch and save. When you want the real deal, check us out at ChamplinInsurance.com. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
More with Cole Kramer. It's episode number 100, the Go Gopher podcast. In bowl season, and you probably aren't going to want to give too much of this away, but in bowl season, we've got guys who are preparing for the NFL, guys who are in the transfer portal. So it's probably both teams aren't going to have the allotment of weapons maybe that you see during the regular season. So I won't ask you who's in, who's out, all that. That will, I suppose, we'll figure out if nothing else once the game starts. But I do want to ask what kind of challenges maybe that is presented in terms of preparation, and are there some young guys that are starting to work in that you'll get to help develop here?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it gives too much of a challenge. I think it's always that next man up mentality. But again, working with everyone, like this goes all the way back to summer, winter, where we're throwing to everyone. It's not like I'm just throwing to 3 guys, but we're getting reps with everyone, and so that young guys will have to play sometimes and just grow from there, but it's been great.
All right, let me ask you, I know as we say next week, as we just talked game week, but you have watched a little film on Bowling Green. Mm-hmm. So what can you tell us about what you're learning about them? Yeah,
they're a great team. They have a lot of turnovers. I think they're number 1 in the country or whatnot, but so they're very good on defense, very skilled. and poses a great challenge for us to compete with them. And yeah,
it looks like they've gotten better too, right? They started slow, and I think they've been on a bit of a win streak here. So, what will maybe a fast start to help stop some momentum they may feel like they have is important.
Yeah, I think it just really comes down to execution. No matter who you play, it's we always talk about just Minnesota versus Minnesota, and you just got to go 1-0 each and every play, and make sure that your assignment on that play is taken care of.
As a quarterback, how important is that too, just to stay one play at a time? And I mean, of course, you want to be a big picture guy as well, but just from down to down. And how do you think that will be for you for the first time in a while where you have that responsibility?
Yeah, I think it's very important. I think it's important to leave the plays in the past and not keep dwelling over something. But it is truly a one play kind of deal where you can't think too far ahead. You just got to focus on what's in store right now.
The Bowling Green matchup is an interesting one because, to me, I get a little irritated, and here I'm going to be guilty of it as well. People bring up the previous Bowling Green matchup, right? P.J. Fleck in his 7 years here has lost 2 non-conference games, North Carolina last year and Bowling Green, and people treat it like, oh, well, there's another. No, it doesn't happen very often. So it's once in every now and then, and a MAC team beats a Big Ten team. Do you guys at all think about that? Is it like, okay, we want to go get them? I mean, clearly there's mostly 2 different rosters there, but just, hey, let's put it into this and just go beat the Falcons? Or is it nothing on your mind at all?
Yeah, I think it's just another, treat it like another game. Just to go out there, execute, win, doing everything we can to give us the best chance. But, it's like I said before, Minnesota versus Minnesota, and we kind of just focus on that.
You were not on the 2018 team. You were in high school at that point. The last time the Gophers were in Detroit, there were a few guys still held over, I guess, 1 or 2. Ottman Bell, Bo was probably on that team, right? As a true freshman. What have they told you, if anything, about what the trip's about? You guys leave, as we record today, Friday. You'll leave a week from today, I think, next Friday, and then you'll have some. They have, I know, what is it, like some sort of a bowling?
Yeah, something like
weird bowling rodeo deal thing or something. I remember Tommy Olson or somebody was talking about that as well. I can't remember who, but how much do you enjoy bowl games where you get to experience a city and experience some of the things that the bowl gets an opportunity to present to you guys?
Yeah, I love bowl games. It's not just the game. It's all the different experiences you get to have. Whether it was in Phoenix like we had or New York was really cool. But yeah, you just kind of gain new experiences along the way, and especially to be able to do this with your brothers, the guys that you're with every single day. It's special, and it's a lot of fun.
I got a kick last year, aside from the at Yankee Stadium. One, you're in Yankee Stadium, which is kind of a legendary spot. We know that the turf was no good. Those baseball fields, for whatever reason, can't figure out how to put a football field together to keep you guys from slipping and sliding all over the place. But aside from that, I thought, again, my experience is probably different than you guys as players. The coolest part of the whole trip was the day before when there was picture day, and we got to go. I got to hang out with you guys out on the field and just kind of look around and see. Yeah, Derek Jeter played here, and I know it's a newer Yankee Stadium, so Reggie Jackson and some of the old Mickey Mantle. I guess on that property they were there, which was cool, and some guys brought baseballs even. So that was kind of cool. I thought that and I don't remember if you thought that the same, but at that game last year was awesome.
Yeah, you're middle of the game, and then you just kind of look up and you're like, wow, this is Yankee Stadium. It was awesome. Even just stepping foot on that field was really cool.
Yeah. Did now these bowl games give out these swag bags or whatever? Was last year a good one? Did you get a good? What was in that? Do you remember?
Oh, geez. The bag itself was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. I know they had a speaker or something like that. That was
you guys
awesome.
all got jerseys too, right?
Oh, yeah. That was really cool.
Which was awesome.
Yeah, that was probably one of the coolest things.
Tanner got 2 because that's his number, but I thought that was cool too because that's Jeter's number.
Yeah, that's
you guys watched the Jeter thing last year, right?
Yeah.
His documentary is part of kind of the learning and improvement, all that stuff. So I know Tanner was excited. He told me he was a great shortstop in high school too, so I wonder if that's true. Did you play baseball?
Oh, yeah.
All the way up through?
Stopped playing at 8th grade.
8th grade, gotcha. So you played the youth, the youth ball.
All the travel ball.
Yeah. I coached my son through that. We were at Eden Prairie at Miller Park.
Yeah.
We coached a few games there.
Oh, nice.
So you're on the Detroit Lions field, I guess, for this. So it's not the New York Yankees, but it's still kind of cool, I suppose, to be in an NFL stadium.
Yeah, any stadium's cool to play in.
All right. So speaking of the NFL, your cousin, we can't have you on the podcast and not talk about Carter Coughlin. You probably get sick of people asking about your cousin Carter Coughlin. Your mom and his mom are sisters.
Yep.
Both went to the university?
My mom went to University of Texas.
She went to Texas.
Yep.
Carter's mom went here.
Yep.
Your grandpa was here and the athletic director. Mm-hmm. Carter's dad played football. Carter's mom played tennis. Yep. Did your mom play sports at Texas?
Yeah, she played tennis.
Tennis there.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. Because Carter was telling me, I know we had him, not on this podcast, but we had him on some interviews that your two moms were pretty competitive tennis players when they faced each other.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Many times.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. How much do you stay in touch with Carter?
A lot. I mean, we were just, he had his bowl or his bye week a couple weeks ago. And, all the cousins were over there and hanging out and seeing him. So I see him, I'm texting him quite often. But, during the season, it's a little obviously hard to see him. But out of season, we're together quite a bit.
Yeah, and is he in? I know they're on a little bit of a roll now, right? They've won 3 or 4 in a row. Is it?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. It's hard. Like you're in your season, it's hard to follow. But they just played in primetime sometime. Who'd they beat? I can't remember now. I'm losing my mind. But you grew up going to Gopher games, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So what are some of your good memories maybe as a youth coming to games, and what's it now turned into meaning for you when you come out of that tunnel and you're on the sideline and you're wearing that maroon and gold?
Yeah, I've started to come to the game since the Metrodome, and I have a picture with my family that I always look at and I'm like, dang, come a long way. But I remember, the first game that we played, I believe we played Air Force, and the jets flying overhead and all that, and I was like, dang, I want to be there sometime.
And you're just sitting in the stands.
Yep. Yeah. I can't remember how old I was, but
it would have been 09.
Okay.
09, fall of 09.
Yeah, so I was probably like 8 years old or something. And then, every time I run out of the tunnel, I make sure, I look around, take it all in. This means a lot to me, and it's truly special.
Yeah. What has this coaching staff, they build a specific culture. You got to be the right kind of personality, I think, to fit it. And one of the nice things is as it gets deeper into the tenure, more people understand that. And so you're either in or you're probably not here.
Yeah.
Right? What's it meant to you to be part of this over the course of time? And what's it, what does it, help develop you into, do you think?
Yeah, I could honestly go on and on about the culture. I think it's amazing with, not just the mindset of football, but, Coach Fleck always says it's a life program, and that's honestly super true. Going through the whole job search and everything like that, I'm using the culture with that, and I can totally see, this culture painted out in, the workforce and, with families. And I talked to some guys who graduated, 4 years ago, and they're like, yeah, that culture still remains true to me. I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's awesome. I mean, seeing every guy in here, living out the culture. I remember my first few days here, and, the only thing going through my head when it was like a tough workout was, some of the culture stuff. And, it's been ingrained in me, and I think it's awesome. Everything from the line of success to change your best to, I could go on and on. I'm a huge fan.
And part of it is this servant leadership as well. You've been huge in that. You go to visit the hospital, you do the community work. I know you were part of the turkey drive the other day. I guess that was a month ago now or so, whatever it was. Take me through the importance of that to you.
Yeah, I think the biggest impact that, Gopher football has had on me is, when I'm at the Hope Kids camp or, in the hospital, and, I'm getting chills right now just thinking about it, just because it means so much. And, not only for them, but for, me and the other guys that are serving and giving. And I think serving and giving, truly is one of the most important things you can do. It's a different type of, fulfillment. And, I've just kind of taken it and has done as much as I can, and, just know the impact that it has, on those guys and, on me as well, and making me a better person.
All right, so here we go. Here's your chance. If you're in the job market and you're going to be in Arizona, we might have alums that are listening in Arizona, people from here that know people in Arizona. So what's your major? What's your line of work you're hoping to get into, and how do they get in touch with you if they want to say, you're our guy?
Yeah, so I got my undergrad in business and marketing, and then I got my grad certificate in strategic marketing, and just actually finished that a couple days ago. But I'm looking to go into sales, whether that's software sales, med device sales, honestly. Any opportunity given, I'd love. But I think sales is, something that aligns with my skills and kind of what I've been through and all of that.
All right. And you're in the process of trying to line something up. So if someone's listening, here's your guy, Gopher quarterback Cole Kramer, the pride of Eden Prairie, Minnesota, heading to the Phoenix area in Arizona. Yep. All right. Last line of questioning for you, because you're now in this line of guys that as their career's wrapping up, they know they found the right girlfriend. They've made her fiance. We had John Michael Schmidt. He told us about his proposal where he had to do it in a walking boot because he had gotten hurt by Daniel Fowler. Remember that down in Arizona? He's going to propose like the next day on this walking trail.
Yeah.
And so the poor guy gets run over by his 375-pound teammate on a trick play for a touchdown, and now he has to take a walking boot. And so he proposes there. I can't remember how Tanner did it, but he's now married, and I'm sure there's others. So if you want to share, if you say, hey, mind your own business, I'm not going to be offended. But how did it all unfold? Is she a high school?
So that's where it gets a little funny. So she grew up in Chanhassen, went to Chanhassen, grew up in Victoria, and so our cities are close to each other. Didn't know, we knew of each other, didn't know each other in high school, and then one day in college over winter break, she started Snapchatting, and we ended up hanging out, and we only could hang out for, I think it was a week before she had to go back. So we actually started basically our relationship with, 3 or 4 times knowing who each other was, and then have done, 2.5 years of long distance. And, she's been amazing through all of this. I can't, thank her enough.
She's trying to plan this whole thing.
Oh yeah.
Right?
She's amazing. She's truly unbelievable. And, she was my biggest supporter and, plan and, everything like that. And, I can't say enough good things about her.
I think that's how Tanner met his wife too, right? Through DMs, I think.
Yeah.
That's the new thing.
It's the new thing, yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's hard for me as an old man to, it used to be, hey, let's go have dinner or I'll buy you a drink. Now that's kind of frowned upon. So this is the new way.
Yeah, I guess you just got to adapt and evolve.
It's a definite evolution, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, it's awesome to have you on the podcast. It's cool to get to know you better. Hopefully our Gopher listeners have enjoyed it as well. And best of luck for sure in the bowl game, obviously, and then just in general with the wedding. It's in February?
Yep.
All right. Well, good luck, man.
Awesome.
Good to
thank
see
you so much.
Thank you. Cole Kramer, our guest. It's episode number 100.
My thanks to Cole Kramer for joining me on the Go Gopher podcast this week. What a great story, and what a bright future for one of Eden Prairie's finest. Episode number 100 is presented by Sunbelt Business Advisors and True North Mergers and Acquisitions. If you're buying or selling a business, visit sunbeltminnesota.com or tnma.com. We're also partnered with Affinity Plus Federal Credit Union, a locally member-owned full-service financial invested in you. You can learn more at affinityplus.org/Go Gophers. That's affinityplus.org/Go Gophers. They also have an award-winning mobile app, so check that out. Cub is also one of our primary sponsors here on the Go Gopher podcast, the official grocer of the Golden Gophers. We're also brought to you by State Farm agent Tony Hoagland. Again, I'd invite you to listen to past podcasts, and right now, click that subscribe button to the Go Gopher podcast. It's free to subscribe and free to listen at any time. And please share the link to the podcast with others so they can subscribe and listen as well. We'll talk again next week.